course, the first episode that we're going to talk about, or the first anime we're going to be talking about, is the Dandadan episode, which this was such a fun episode. But also, apparently it got into a little bit of controversy, which we will talk about later. But basically, the first half of this episode starts where we left off, with Gigi getting a little bit of the soy sauce, which was the cold water, splashed onto him, and so it created the whole explosion. The whole house got destroyed, and so everyone was just like, okay, listen, we can't keep doing this. This is bad. And I guess the Hayashis that Seiko called came, and they are apparently okay for I actually don't know what I can say. I don't want to say that's what they are, but they have a very inspired 80s aesthetic, which again leads on to, other things that happened with this episode. But they have a very 80s aesthetic. They have the whole like big rock hairstyle, and one of the people I love the fact that like all of them have like the makeup and like the big hair and like the big 80s, like, hairspray, like fluffy hair. And then there's one dude that he just looks like Weird Al. There's one dude that just looks like Weird Al, and it is the best. It's so cool. I love the juxtaposition so much. But the idea behind this, sorry there. I don't know what happened. My audio, my dude started, the avatar started acting up. Yeah, okay, that should help a little bit more. So basically, they all came, and the way that they work is that they themselves, they can't sense spiritual energy. I don't think they can really see ghosts, and I don't think that they can like actually be manipulated by ghosts. But that makes them the perfect Hayashi, because I guess in this world, not Hayashis, but people who can't see ghosts don't really get affected by ghosts, which I don't think is very consistent. I'd have to think about it a little more, but I think we've had possession in the show where people who didn't have spiritual powers were possessed. Maybe I'm wrong about that, because the only two that I think about is Ira and Gigi, and yes, I remembered her name. I remember Pink Girl's hair's name, which I'm very happy about. But I guess that's true, because Ira did get a little bit of that energy from the Okaroon Golden Balls, and Gigi already has like a significant pour of energy, so I guess that's true. I can't think of anybody else, but like I guess that's consistent. But anyways, they're probably some of the best Hayashi, because they can't get affected or get possessed properly. But what can happen is that their sound is so strong. Their sound is so strong that apparently it can like affect the spirits around them and like pull them out from like wherever they are. Which we see that in the most like metal 80s way possible. First of all, the song is a banger. If you haven't seen the song is great. And they do something that actually I rarely ever see dubs and subs ever do, because usually when they add like a song for an anime, usually it's like one type of language. Either it's an English song that is sung in both English in both the dub and sub, or there is like a Japanese song or whatever language song. Basically, if there's a song in a certain language, it's never like converted. And to an extent, I can accept that if they're trying to do what they're trying to do. Like if somebody is Russian and they sing a Russian song, like in the anime, I think it's appropriate to keep it Russian and not just switch it over to Japanese or English, because it's one of those things where it's like, you should probably keep the integrity of the song, which is one of the things I've always assumed. But it seems like that this was a original song for the anime, so what they did is that they have a dub version and they have a sub version for the song. So I had to watch that both back. Honestly, both are really good. Both are really good. If you actually like take the chance to listen to both of them all the way through, I did, because I'm extra and I like to give the best of my analysis. So yeah, that's what they did, and I was more than happy to watch both of them twice, because they start playing and you see all the ghosts around the area just hear this sound and get drawn out. And the best thing about it is that they basically start a whole crowd. It's amazing. And you do see Okaroon and Ira and Momo, they start rocking out too, and it's just like, oh, this is awesome. Dude, even I started haymaking for a little bit. I was there and I was like, dude, this song? Fucking fire. I need to find out what the song is, because I need to add it into my playlist, because it was genuinely good. But with all that happening and Gigi starting to get his exorcism, Gigi finally explains the fact that, oh yeah, I, like, the evil eye, he's not really evil. He just wants somebody to play with. And I promised I'd give him that, and I promised I wouldn't kill him. Which goes along with, which is one of those things where I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, you probably do have a soft spot for spirits, but also, this is the evil eye. He seems like he's quite a powerful spirit. And while he does have some baggage, I feel like this is one of those moments where you kind of need to be like, I get it. Although, I will say, I think it was more for Gigi's sake, rather than the actual evil eye's sake. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, she saved, she's keeping Turbo Granny around, not for Turbo Granny, but for Okaroon. But I don't even know that either, because Turbo Granny and Psycho have also gotten pretty close over the around the course of season 1. So I don't even know completely around that. But then that all ends, and then the second half of the episode is just watching how all of Gigi, Ira, Momo, and Okaroon interact with each other on a day-to-day basis. Now that all 4 of them are living in like the same house, and we have this little moment where everyone's just like not waking up quietly, but it's the middle of the night, obviously, and so they're just like quietly walking around and stuff like that. Gigi and Okaroon have like a cute little moment. Ira and Momo are also just fighting, but that happens before this scene. One of my favorite moments though is like Okaroon wakes up and he hears that Gigi's in the bathroom, and Gigi's like, see, what I thought was gonna happen was it's so stupid. What I thought was gonna happen was I thought the evil eye was gonna come out again, because sometimes when you go to the bathroom, a little bit of water can splash back. And then not just poop, but sometimes when like you flush and you gotta, I have a weird amount of toilet knowledge, so just bear with me for a second. But there are like low flow toilets and there are high flow toilets. And there are high flow toilets that have a really strong water pressure. And sometimes with that water pressure, if you kind of have a small bowl, sometimes it tends to like, it's time to splash back up you, because the high pressure can be intense. That's why you have to go ahead and get a bigger bowl if you have a high pressure, because that way you get like better circulation and you don't have your water spilling up. Because if that's the case, sometimes mold could happen under the seat, or that happens if there's like too much water for flush back. Listen, I have way too much like toilet knowledge, okay? But sometimes when that happens, like the water could splash up a little bit when you flush if you got a powerful enough toilet. And what I thought was gonna happen was his butt was gonna get kind of wet, but no, it was a lot more wholesome than that. It was a lot more wholesome than that. Where in this situation, Okaroon's just talking how like, oh yeah, Psycho helped me out and I wanted to repay her, but she said no, just pay it forward to someone else. So that's what Okaroon's doing with Gigi, with wanting to help Gigi take care of the evil eye and stuff like that. But yeah, we see them interact. There's a really funny scene I love a lot. I said it before. I said I loved it. I keep trying to bring it up, but when they're in the bathroom and you just see Momo just open the door slightly while she's tired and not able to sleep, because Ira is snoring like a beast. Valid. I go through that as well. Not the Momo part. I just snore probably as loud as Ira, unfortunately. And she's looking at Gigi and Okaroon and just making sure it's just like, I can't tell if she was like, are things okay? Or a sense of like, you know, if like being like, oh, I'm in pain. And Okaroon, and without saying anything, just give a thumbs up. And then Momo also gives a thumbs up and just slides the door. I don't know why I found that funny. It just was to me. I sat there and I'm just like, I love these guys. And we see it more. Like they're all getting ready for school. We see Ira's routine of her being, you know, the pretty girl getting ready and stuff like that. We see Momo and all of them having breakfast. Oh, it was so cute, because I guess Gigi can't go to school right now with the way he is. So he's seeing Ira, Momo, and Okaroon off, and you just see him as they're all leaving, him just being so like happy and excited to be like, bye guys, have a great day at school, be safe. Gigi is Gigi is such a warm soul, dude. I love him so much. But now we get more into the personal stuff with Dandadan, like the more like non-spooky but character development stuff, where Momo's trying to get a part-time job, and I think Ira's trying to get one too, but she's just off to herself. But again, I'm glad that we have Momo's friends integrated into this series, just not overwhelmingly to where they become a problem, but they're just there in like a good way. Now that makes me assume that they might get some sort of possession very soon, Maybe it's a potential. It's a potential because they're now being shown a bit too heavily for me to not assume they won't get involved in some type of ghost stuff. But man, these girls did both of them dirty because obviously they tell her, oh yeah, you should get a side job at this place, and then they tell Okarun that, oh, you shouldn't wait up for Momo. She's gonna do a side job, and so instead of Okarun going home, they just drag her to the cheese shop where it's like, oh, welcome home, master. And now Momo, now that all three of them are there, along with Okarun, and Momo's working at that cafe, now Momo has to act like that the whole next episode. The whole next episode is just going to be that. It's just going to be that, and it's going to be funny. It's going to be funny, and I'm going to love it all. So yeah, that's where we are with Dandadan. Fairly okay episode. Honestly, it made it a lot better with the musical part. I really like that part. But yeah, it's a fairly okay episode of the Big Boy. It was a fairly okay episode. I liked it a lot. It was good. It's fun. Music, great. Character development, great. It's what I expect from Dandadan at this point.